It's Thanksgiving week here in the United States. I saw on a billboard recently that God never stopped being good. It's just that we stopped being grateful. If it's one thing we like, it's complaining. And my coworker loves to say that if you want people to be happy, give them something to complain about. We love complaining. We love talking about what's wrong with the world, what's wrong with everyone else except ourselves. As a father, I'm always trying to cultivate a sense of gratitude in my kids because, again, it is so easy to just complain about everything, complain about what we don't have, complain about the food I'd rather have, the car I'd rather have, the state of the world. And we do a lot of complaining and not a lot of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a hard thing to market because you can't really market gratitude. If you're grateful, then I don't really need much. I'm grateful for what I have instead of wanting more stuff. And I mean, as a kid, like Thanksgiving was probably one of the most boring holidays because Halloween's awesome and then you want to fly over to Christmas. And the world certainly jumps over Thanksgiving, at least here in the United States. As soon as Halloween is done, if not even before, Christmas stuff starts going up. My message today is, and for myself too, is just to pause and be grateful. The Eucharist, for instance, the source and summit of our Catholic faith, means thanksgiving. Gratitude is so central to who we are as Christians, to the mysteries given to us in the Catholic Church. Gratitude, and that's because God himself is gift. Gift is the core of who God is. If God is love, according to St. John, that love is always diffusive, it's outpouring, it can never be contained, it's never like me, mine, all for me. That's the antithesis of who God is. And with the Eucharist, we partake in God himself, and the more we are able to receive it, the more generous we will become. And it doesn't happen like right away. It's one of these gradual things. The more we're going to communion, the more we make time to be with our Lord, the more generous, the more overflowing we will be. It's the law of the gift. And it's why we love stories like A Christmas Carol with Ebenezer Scrooge. Like, we love watching that fundamental shift of a miserly, greedy character who all of a sudden becomes generous, who starts being thankful. And out of that Thanksgiving comes again the gratitude, generosity. I mean, even the first Iron Man movie kind of starts with a Scrooge-like figure. Tony Stark is all about, himself and his pleasure and his wealth, and he has to undergo a conversion to be grateful for what he has, to be grateful for life itself, his very breath. And out of that comes the mission then to give back, to give thanks, and out of that to be generous unto others. In Acts 20:35, Paul just states it pretty plain. It's better to give than receive, drawing back to, again, the model of Christ himself. And St. Paul, who saw trial and imprisonment, and he was shipwrecked, he was persecuted, and eventually he's killed. He has the most to complain about of any one of us. And yet, over and over, from Philippians 4 to Ephesians 5 to 1 Thessalonians 5:18 to Colossians 4, in all circumstances, give thanks. In everything, give thanks. The world knows plagues and pestilence and famine and war and poverty. And we're called as Christians to be thankful. To be thankful for the fact that we are breathing right now, that we have life, that we've been given a chance to partake in God himself, in the here and now. The Eucharist, again, being that ultimate source of thanksgiving, and to radiate that outward. A friend of mine says, and consider this maybe as a meditation today. Imagine if God took away everything you never said thank you for. Imagine if God took away everything you never thanked him for. We often treat God like a genie, just gimme, 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 the Santa Claus God, you could say, or a mountaintop figure who's far away, somewhere at the edge of the universe and doesn't really care. And yet God is love. God is the gift. God is always outpouring of himself. Jesus Christ is the pinnacle of this revelation. The love that doesn't hold anything back. It gives itself out fully as Christ does on the cross. We need to model that in little ways, in big ways. And again, as a father, it's always trying to help my kids be thankful, to be not assume they're going to get toys, that every food on their plate is going to be something they like. Every movie or music is going to be something they want. But to be thankful, let's be thankful this week. Let's be thankful this day. Let's just, for an hour today, be thankful. My challenge to you as well as to me is to, in times where we would complain, where I would say something negative, and in a moment where I would just resort to sarcasm or tearing someone down, instead to be thankful, to sit in thanksgiving for a moment of everything I do have, of everything I've been blessed with, of everything that God has given me, of the talents, the treasure, the opportunities I've been given. How am I going to give back? Instead of thinking, what more for me? How can I give back to others, to those around me, to those in my own household today? Anyway, these are just my thoughts. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and have a blessed holiday from all of us at Ascension Presents. God bless.